to remember pain. And it's good, it helps protect us so we don't get hurt again by the same things. But it's also the reason that the common advice to forgive and forget is completely misguided. Because the true path to forgiveness requires just the opposite, to forgive and remember. But what's hard is to remember the right stuff, the lesson and not the pain. I'm a mental health counselor, and for the past 15 years, I hear story after story about the awful ways we hurt one another. Partners who cheat, friends who gossip, kids who bully, or bosses who treat you unfairly. And at the end of all of it, what do we do about the people who hurt us? You could either just cut them out of your life, never talk to them again, stay angry, hold a grudge, or you could just try to live with it and pretend to forget. But maybe the thing you're trying to forget is one of the most significant things that ever happened to you. You can see how both options just create more pain. I have my own personal reasons for trying to understand forgiveness in a different way. I grew up the daughter of an alcoholic mother. It was a childhood of abandonment and insecurity and pain. And when I was 12 years old, it just got worse because my mom had a massive stroke. And she was left paralyzed, unable to speak, in a vegetative state. I went from kid to caretaker with no chance of any resolution. She couldn't even talk. So what was I going to do with all of that pain? She died when I was 26, but my resentment did not. Along the way, here's what I've learned about forgiveness. It's a choice, it's a process, and there is no timeline. But I can tell you, you're ready to think about forgiving when you can accept the past will not change. No amount of anger or bitterness or social posts or jail time, nothing. Nothing you can do can change the fact that the thing that happened that hurt you happened. But that doesn't mean that you accept that it's all right, that you're just supposed to live like it didn't matter. Of course it matters. In fact, the more it hurt you, the more it has shaped you. But that's the thing to take forward. The way you stay protected in the future is to apply the lesson, and you don't need the pain to remind you of that. Forgiveness also doesn't mean that you're going to accept this toxic person back into your life. You can forgive at a distance. In fact, maybe the lesson that you learned was how to set better boundaries, and that's what you're applying today. Lots of times people say, well, forgiveness, what am I supposed to do? Just let that person off the hook? It's not about the other person. You're letting yourself off the hook from having to live in the past with pain, which really isn't living at all, to living in the future, but better informed. Now, we have rules about forgiveness that I think block us. One of them is this. So, if you apologize, then I'll forgive you. But it better be a good apology, like bloodshed. Like, and you got to say it like you mean it, the way I think you should say it. And I need video, because I'm going to post this. And then maybe I'll forgive you. Like, forgiveness is a gift for the other person. But it's not, it's a gift for yourself. In fact, you don't even need to announce it. You don't need the other person's cooperation. You don't need them at all. You could forgive somebody if they're not alive. That was helpful for me. I had to rethink forgiveness, but I also had to rethink my relationship with my mom. I couldn't even think of her as my mom. I had to think of her as a person, as a woman with a backstory. Because at some point, my mom, Etta Elizabeth Knipple, of Stewart, British Columbia, was just 12 years old herself at some point. And that girl never hurt me. And that's the lesson I took forward, that everybody has a backstory, which does not excuse the future behavior that hurt me or may hurt you, but it does help explain it. And that was a heart shift for me. It started the process. So, purpose has a pain. It will break you open, but it's not your landing pad. It's your launching pad to the lesson you were meant to learn, the lesson that will protect you in the future, and that is worth remembering. Thank you.